Can you feel the difference, she says? Do you feel the energy? People are starting to come back home. Okay, let's listen. No idea why the voters abandoned Democrats in 2024. No idea. Maybe because you told them you weren't going to listen to them. You think that? And in fact, you would do the opposite of what they asked you to do just because they asked you to do it. So the governor of New York is an out-of-touch oligarch funded by billionaires and doesn't care about you or workers. And so they were chanting at her to tax the rich. And they did this a year ago. This was recently, just before the election in New York City. Here's what they were chanting. So the whole stadium is chanting, "Tax the rich, tax the rich." We made 600 new billionaires during COVID, while everybody else got wrecked economically, and so they got a stadium full of Democrat voters saying to the governor of New York, "Tax the rich." That's what they chanted her. That's the whole goddamn stadium. And she just tries to play it off. Okay, you're fired up. Yeah, okay. But here's so she was at this thing called the Somos Conference in Puerto Rico. It's a place for New York politicians to go to relax. The conference provides a change of scenery and a relaxed atmosphere where political circles can network and plan their next steps for the years to come. So she goes to Puerto Rico, and they start chanting "Tax the rich" at her in Puerto Rico. So they do it in New York, and they're doing it in Puerto Rico. And here's what she says back to that. So so they're chanting "Tax the rich," and here's what she says back.
Hear you, but I'm the type of person.
She says, "I hear you, but."
Hear you, but I'm the type of person. The more you push me, the more I'm not going to do what you want. Okay? So little lesson to all.
So she says, but I'm the type of person, the more you push me, the less I'm going to do what you want. You know the opposite of what a politician is supposed to do and say? You know how the politician's supposed to be responsive to the people? She's like, nope, I'm going to do what I want. And if you bring it up again, believe me, I'll turn this car right around. And then nobody goes on vacation. She's literally telling the voters, I'm not going to do what you want. The more you ask, so she's telling the voters, you should shut up. You know what she's telling the voters?
Shut up.
She's telling the voters to shut up. How dare you petition your politicians, your elected officials, to do something you want? That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And now you know why people hate politicians and hate Democrats. I never heard Trump say, well, the more you ask me to do something, the less likely I am to do it. That's the opposite of how politics works. You want to hear it again?
Hear you, but I'm the type of person, the more you push me, the more I'm not going to do what you want. Okay? So little lesson to all of our friends out there. But hey, labor is in the house, right? Labor in the house? I can feel the energy, the power. And I know New York is in the house.
She's inspiring.
How inspiring? You can't shout "fighter" at City Hall. That's illegal now, I guess. So that's wild, isn't it? Professor Zenkis, he says, Governor Kathy Hochul takes the stage to chants of "tax the rich," to which she replies, I'm the type of person, the more you push me, the less I'm going to do what you want. The utter contempt that it's the establishment Democrats have for democracy is mind-boggling. That is the opposite of democracy. It's the opposite of how politics works. Hey, when the people en masse ask me to do something, that means I'm not going to do it. How did these people get elected? Oh, I know, because they take billionaire money and they buy ads on TV and people get propagandized. That's how. That's how. 1 year ago, we lost. So here she is saying 1 year ago, we lost the election on November 2024. 1 year later, can you feel the difference? She says, do you feel the energy? People are starting to come back home. Yeah, not okay. Let's listen. No idea why the voters abandoned Democrats in 2024. No idea. No idea. Maybe because you told them you weren't going to listen to them. You think that? And in fact, you would do the opposite of what they asked you to do just because they asked you to do it.
In November of 24. 1 year later, can you feel the difference? Can you feel the energy?
Keep telling the people that you're not going to do what they ask. See how long that energy lasts. Keep telling the people you're not going to do what they want. This is why people hate Democrats, establishment Democrats. This is why I hate them. This is why I couldn't be a Democrat anymore. Screw the will of the people. Oh, my God. Anyway.
Starting to come back home. Those who left us, I'm not sure why, might have had a little fever, maybe they weren't feeling well, something bad happened, but they're coming.
She said those voters who left us, I don't know why. You don't know why? You don't think it's maybe because they keep voting Democrat and their life gets worse? You don't think it's because you just told them you're not going to do what they want you to do? Then in fact, if they ask you to do it, you're going to do the opposite? You don't think that's why? That's probably why. Probably why, because you guys are funding genocide and you're funding the Ukraine war and you're not going to fund them. And people can't afford their mortgage. They can't afford their health insurance premiums. They can't afford their hospital bills. They can't afford their college tuition as you give hundreds of billions of dollars to the war machine and fund a genocide. Maybe that's why people left you in 2024. You ever think? And now it's because you tell them you're not going to do what they want. The more they ask you to do something, the less likely you are to do. So the more your constituents ask you to do something, the less. So don't ever ask your politicians to do anything. Don't ever ask a Democrat to do anything. That's what she's saying. She has no idea why people left them in 2024. I can tell you why the people left the Democrats in 2024. You know who else can tell you? Black barbers in Milwaukee. Anyway, so if you'd like to hear me make fun of these people, come see me. I'll be in Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. We'll be in Burbank, California the day after Thanksgiving. That's a Friday, November 28th. Lots of people are off. I'm not off that day. December 6th in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. And then January 11th, come to have a vacation in Waikiki. We're going to be in Waikiki January 11th at the Blue Note Theater. Beautiful, right on the beach. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Come see us in Australia. Second show's added in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. We'll see you in Burbank, California the day after Thanksgiving. It's a Friday. And then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. Plus, January 11th, we're going to be in Waikiki at the Blue Note. Tickets not available yet for them, but go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the other tickets.